Have you ever seen a brand new Gucci bag or a Rolex watch online for like 30% off and wondered, how? The official store never has sales. Well, you've just stumbled upon luxury's biggest open secret, the gray market. And trust me, the story behind it is way more interesting than you think.
And yeah, we're not talking about some small-time operation here. This is a global market that's estimated to be worth over $41 billion. It's this massive parallel economy humming along right under the noses of the biggest brands in the world. So what is it exactly?
You'd think, right, that this gray market has to be a huge threat. I mean, it's got to be cannibalizing sales and hurting the brand's prestige. But if that's the whole story, why do so many of these luxury giants seem to just turn a blind eye? Well, the answer reveals this really fascinating strategy that turns what looks like a threat into a pretty powerful hidden opportunity. Okay, first things first, let's be super clear about what we're talking about. This is not about fakes or knockoffs, not at all. The gray market deals in 100% authentic, genuine goods. The only real difference is where they come from and who's selling them.
So let's take a platform like Schaefer. You see this example here. They might be selling the exact same authentic Bottega Veneta slides that are on the official website, but for 30% less. Now, Schaefer is not an authorized dealer, so how on earth is that possible?
Well, it all comes down to something called parallel importing. You see, because of things like taxes and different pricing strategies, the same luxury item can have wildly different price tags around the world. For instance, luxury goods in China can be up to 75% more expensive than in Europe. So gray marketers just buy the product where it's cheap, say in Europe, and then sell it in a high-priced market like China or the US, undercutting the official price while still making a really nice profit.
And this is not some tiny corner of the market. I mean, just look at the scale here. For luxury watches, the gray market makes up a staggering 20% of all global sales. Think about that. 1 out of every 5 new luxury watches sold. It's also 10% of things like handbags and even 8% of luxury cars. This stuff is happening everywhere.
Okay, so if you have unauthorized sellers moving this much product, you would expect the big brands to be waging an all-out war, right? But that's just not what we see. And this right here is where the real puzzle starts.
For regular stuff, non-luxury goods, the playbook is really clear. Tech companies, for example, they fight back. And they fight back hard. A 2016 survey showed that 67% of them have taken legal action against gray marketers. They'll use things like region-locked warranties or deny software updates just to make the gray market product less attractive.
But in the luxury world, crickets. You see industry reports all the time noting that brands like Gucci, Prada, and Dior often tacitly allow it to happen. That means they basically just let it go on. And when you ask them about it, they usually refuse to comment. So why would a brand that lives and dies on exclusivity and prestige just let this happen?
Well, the answer lies in this really powerful force that only applies to status goods. Researchers call it the status creation effect, and it's the secret ingredient that completely changes the game.
Okay, this slide right here, this is the whole ballgame. For a regular product, like a textbook or a phone, a gray market sale is just a lost sale for the manufacturer. It cannibalizes their profit. Simple. But for a status good, the gray market can actually create value and expand the total sales for the brand. So how in the world is that possible?
It's because the value of a luxury item isn't just about the amazing leather or the craftsmanship. A huge part of its value comes from the social signal it sends. It connects you to this group of high-status people who can also afford that same item.
So here's how the magic trick works. A gray marketer takes a handbag from a market where it has, let's say, a moderate status value, and they move it to a high-status market. When that happens, something amazing occurs. The social signaling power of that exact same bag actually increases simply because it's now being seen among a wealthier group. Its perceived value goes up, which in turn grows the total demand for the bag, and that can lead to more sales for the original brand. So, and this is the crucial point, it's not a zero-sum game anymore. The gray marketer wins because they profit from the price difference, and the luxury brand can actually win from this unexpected boost in their total sales. It's this strange but really powerful symbiotic relationship.
But brands aren't just passive bystanders in all this. No way. They have a really powerful strategic weapon they can use to control this dynamic and get the most benefit: aesthetic design.
So they face this really big choice. If they use the same design all over the world, the gray market product is identical to the one in the official store. This lets the gray product borrow the full status of the official version, which is great for the gray marketer. But if they use different designs, like, say, a unique color for the Asian market, well, now the gray product is different. It's distinguishable. And this makes the authorized version in that region feel even more exclusive and high status, which really benefits the manufacturer.
And this choice isn't just a coin flip. The research shows there's a clear strategic playbook for when to use each approach, and it all depends on the markets involved.
And here we are. This is the ultimate strategic takeaway. If a brand is selling to two very similar markets, think the US and Europe, their best move is actually to use the same design. This actually encourages parallel imports, letting them get that sales expansion effect we talked about. But if the markets are very different, like Europe and Asia, the playbook flips. They should use different designs to control the gray market and protect the hyper-exclusivity of their official products in that specific region. And you see this out in the real world all the time. Brands like Vacheron Constantin and Zegna create special, different designs specifically for the very distinct Chinese market. Meanwhile, car companies like BMW and Mercedes-Benz, who sell to more similar markets globally, they tend to use the same car designs everywhere. They're all following the playbook.
So the next time you see a luxury brand drop a regional exclusive, you can ask yourself, is that special design really a tribute to the local culture? Or is it a brilliant, calculated move in a multi-billion-dollar strategic game to master the gray market?